Hi, everybody. My name is Rob, and this is Danny DeHeck, my special guest on Danny DeHeck's channel. We joined Danny today because we're going to interview him 50 questions exploring his journey to build his YouTube channel and how you can learn from Danny about how to build yours, or maybe even decide if you want to. We'll be diving into his motivations, content creation strategies, gear, and advertising efforts. We'll discuss how he monetized his channel and how you can monetize yours, and the challenge he's faced along the way, and whether he or you are doing enough to maximize time and income. I'll also be quite challenging him on, and maybe you, on some of the choices that you've made, so that we can all get a better understanding of why he does what he does and why you do or I do what I do as well, because I've got my own channel, and whether we feel that what you're doing at the moment is the best approach. So let's get straight in. Hello, Danny. How are you?
Oh, thanks for inviting me along, Rob. Really nice to be on the show tonight.
I thought it would only be fair to invite you along to your own channel. Let's get straight in. Section number 1, by the way, we've got 5 sections. Motivation and genre is the first one. Challenges and roadblocks is the second one. Third one is time management and effort. Then number 4, content creation and uploading. Advertising and growth strategies is number 5. Gear and setup is number 6. I didn't realize there were so many. Monetization and making money, slightly different, number 7. And number 8, personal philosophy and reflection, because we know Danny loves reflecting. Number 1, let's get into it. Why did you choose your genre or niche? And do you ever question if it was the right choice?
Good question, Rob. It's sort of my niche actually, it happened by itself. I think that's what happened. I think I did a video, had some success, and then it grew like mold. So my first video was like sort of set the stage. In fact, that's not quite true, because my most successful video is a friend of mine gutting a brown trout. It's had over 200,000 views. So yeah, I think my niche was picked by by sharing a personal experience.
Okay, well, before we get on to the proper number 2, I'm going to challenge you on that. So if your genre, for people who don't know, crypto Ponzi schemes, and your best, most popular video is about how to skin a brown trout, they're not related. So tell me more.
Well, algorithm is one thing that people will talk about, and this brown trout video, I used my iPhone, I videoed my mate, and I put it on the internet, and it had 50,000 subscribers, and then I removed it because I didn't want it on my YouTube channel because it wasn't my content. And my mate rang up and said, "Hey Danny, I don't have a YouTube channel, can you put that video back online?" And since then it went off again, and another 200,000. It's up to 200,000 now, so it's had 250,000 views. So that video is all optimized for the search engines, not because I've done anything tricky. It's just the right formula.
Interesting. So you've created a video that's got 250,000 views, but you decided that's not the video content that you want to do going forward. So that's interesting. We'll get back to that as we go on. Number 2, should every YouTuber have a specific genre, and can you succeed without one?
I don't think it matters, but I think it helps. But I think if you do all the research, it will tell you that you've got to stick to your niche. So it does matter. I just don't think it matters, because I've just suddenly realized in the last probably month or so that people actually quite like me. And it doesn't matter what I talk about. They just come to see me, because I've tried to get rid of them, and I've done all sorts of terrible things. Yelled at people, spitting down the mic sometimes. I've learned to be more well-behaved, but people still come back. In fact, every time I try a different sort of genre, I seem to attract new subscribers.
Interesting. So I have been wondering lately whether or not a person who is popular in the real world would also be popular because of certain characteristics in the virtual world of YouTube. Number 3, do you feel like you're passionate about what you're doing, or is it more about the money now?
Oh, it'd have to be passion because the money isn't really where I thought it would be. But I have made some money. I mean, just the other day, I realised that there's a tax treaty between New Zealand and America, and I'd be missing out on 25% of my money that I'd be getting paid from YouTube for my monetization. So I've changed that, and I'm hoping they're going to back pay me, but I don't think so. So the motivation would be lovely to have money, but I'll explain more about that later, I think, about how the money works.
Yes. No, that's all good. You'll get an opportunity. Number 4, if you could switch your content direction today, what would it be and why?
I think where I'm at, I quite like it. And I think I've had somebody come along just recently.
It's not the question, Danny, and this is going to be challenging.
All right, let's get into it. Tell me the question again because I didn't listen to you.
Yeah. If you could switch your content direction today, what would it be and why?
If I could switch it.
You can't do crypto anymore.
Okay, so, you mean another genre?
Yes.
It would be drop shipping.
Drop shipping. Interesting. So just briefly explain that.
Well, recently I've done about 10 videos on drop shipping. And to my surprise, when I'm selling my websites, people are actually watching my videos about drop shipping. And when they contact me, I can tell they feel like they already know me. And I thought that was quite good. I'm actually surprised. But the videos have only had 50 to 100 views. But the people that it's really targeted, and it's a real nice personal introduction to myself. And obviously, when I sell these drop shipping websites, I'm going to do tutorials. So it's a way of showing people me and how I come across and how easy I might be to teach and be a teacher.
Excellent. So yeah, if I didn't know Danny, I could go watch your video, understand who I'm dealing with or who I'm potentially doing business with. Number 5, do you think your genre has a ceiling in terms of growth potential, and does it ever worry you?
Good question there, Rob, and you did right. I do believe that. I believe I'm in a niche that I didn't quite get one that's going to make me a gazillionaire because I think I'm relative, like in the world of crypto scams and Ponzi schemes, everybody knows me. And they actually, to be honest, I think they might fear me. So I've made an impact, but I only have like 8,000 subscribers. And sometimes I go along to these Ponzi schemes and scams and look at their YouTube channels and they have thousands more subscribers, but they don't seem to have the interaction I do.
Now, I think maybe you need to create your own Ponzi, only to increase the retention rates and grow your channel. Number 2, we'll get on to the second block of questions. These are challenges and roadblocks, Danny. And first question on this lot, number 6 all up. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on?
Learning how to be, I like having a green screen. Today, Rob hasn't got one, but it was finding the right software to be able to record like you see other YouTubers doing. So you're limited by using a Mac or a PC. Your sound quality, having a nice microphone and good sound, you think is important. Maybe it's not as important as you may think, but I think we'll cover that later on. But I think, getting myself, like I'm streaming right now, this is recorded live, and I don't want to edit. So when you first start up, you're thinking, I need editing software, and you have to learn how to edit. And sometimes because you don't know how to edit, you don't produce a video because you think, I'm not going to be as good as that guy I've just watched who's got millions of subscribers, so I better not start. So I don't know. There's lots of different things, but I think personally myself, if I was to nut it down, I think being able to record myself and get a high quality image and a nice cutout without the green edges.
Yeah, that's a big challenge. I think a lot of people, their biggest challenge is maybe self-imposed, the doubt. Number 7, has anything gotten in the way of your growth that you wish you had addressed sooner? I'll just repeat that. Has anything gotten in the way of your growth that you wish you had addressed sooner?
Well, everyone wants subscribers. You want 1,000 subscribers, and you work like a demon to get 1,000 subscribers. But now I don't even look at my subscribers, and I wish I didn't focus on that so much at the start. And I think you've got to be true to yourself when you're doing content. You got to think, what message do I have? Can I explain it clearly? Does it make sense? Did I answer the question? I've forgotten the question now.
No, well, it was just, I'll repeat it. Has anything gotten in the way of your growth that you wish you'd address sooner? But I think you said something great there. I think I'm just jotting that down. What message? In fact, I just lost my own train of thought there. What message have you got, and are you articulate? Good grief! What message have you got, and are you articulating it clearly? Let's practice that as we go forward. Number 8, what do you think is holding other small YouTubers back from growing as fast as they could?
Not producing content regularly. I counted the other day, I did 70 videos in a month. And I went, oh my God, did I? 70 videos, that's 2 a day. And you might think, I'll never do that. I never thought I'd do that many videos. But I've actually created 4 videos in a day. Susie's popped in here. Hello, Susie.
Hello, Susie. Hello. And if you're watching and you want to come on board and ask us a question, we'll throw that into the mix as well. Next question is, what's the most common mistake you see YouTubers making in your niche? That's a tricky one for you.
Well, I don't actually have anyone in my niche. Like, I don't, because what I see, the only people I have in my niche is actually scammers and people that are promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. Because there's no one, because you've got all these people going after the Indian phone scammers and they go after the call centers. But I haven't seen anyone actually going into people's Zoom meetings and causing disruption like I do. So maybe that's some of my reasons why people don't see me. When I show people what I'm doing, I'm thinking I'm in a niche of my own because I'm not going after these phone scammers. I can ring people on my phone now and harass people. That's great. But no one's going into a Zoom meeting. I've got literally 80 Zoom meeting links. And I can go in there and find people running the scam and cause so much disruption. And I can actually shut their meetings down. And they'll even close the door so no one else can get in. And I'm in there 7 times. No one else I know is doing that. But then again, is anyone searching the internet for people that cause havoc in Zoom meetings? I don't think so. Maybe that's where I'm missing out. Susie is.
Who knows? Who knows? It is an interesting one. And I was thinking when I was reading that out, there's very few people that are doing what you're doing, and definitely not as regular. But of course, they don't have 8,000 subscribers either, the ones that are doing it. What's the have you ever considered quitting YouTube? If so, why?
Good question here, Rob. Now, yes, I have quite a few times. Because I actually am playing with fire, because I'm going after scammers. When the guy said he was going to cut my head off and kill me, if it's the last thing he ever did, I did say something rude about his wife, admittedly. That was quite scary. And also, when somebody was trying to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for $3.8 million last year, it did, and my lawyers were telling me not to do anything unless I got their approval. Certainly made me feel like, have I picked the right career path? So I have actually thought about it. And sometimes I actually wear my heart on my sleeve, and some of the things I cover, like I've just had a bit of a thing going down for the last 2 or 3 weeks, but it does make you reflect on where you should go. So if people who don't know, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and I also fight Ponzi schemes. They're very similar because I was brought up in a religious cult. So my content is kind of like about exposing people that are preaching lies. So sometimes it gets on top of you because of your history, all the family stuff that goes behind that. So yeah, I have actually thought, is this really what I want to do? But when I think about it, I think this has actually given me a way to get my message out there to other people. And I actually have to focus on that. So I just wrote an email to someone, I'm going to go on for a bit there, Rob. And I said, actually, it's made me more determined than ever to stay focused because I was trying to introduce somebody to help me do some stuff. And I think I know what I'm doing. I mean, you're my co-host, and you cringe at some of the things I do. But when you have a co-host that's second guessing everything that you do, it makes it very hard to be you.
We'll be right back.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Don't go to sleep on me. That's an elephant. I don't know why, but I like elephants. I think it's because my mum said no one's talking about the elephant in the room. I hope you're enjoying the podcast and you don't want to or even think about changing the record. I've got some really cool sound effects and I just had to find a place to use them. I can do explosions. I've even got a gunshot and a boom. Isn't that quite cool? Anyway, I just wanted to wake you up. Wake up and we'll get into it. And by the way, just grab a drink. I'm going to grab a glass of champagne. Let's carry on. That's good. All right. Grab a coffee if you like one as well.
It does. It does. You are in a very challenging genre. But one of the interesting things I'm picking up there is that the content and the message to you are probably more important than necessarily the number of views, subscribers, and ultimately money that you're making. Number 3, time management and effort. Number 11, how many hours a week do you spend working on your channel?
It is 13 minutes to midnight on Tuesday night. And tomorrow morning I'll get up and go to work because I work 2 days a week. I will probably get up at 6 a.m. in the morning and potentially storm and monitor some Zoom meetings and go in there. So time, I probably spend 70. I actually say I spend 70 to 80 hours a week on my YouTube channel.
Wow.
I did a 7-hour stream the other day, Rob. 7 hours.
I know. There were people complaining. There weren't. I just made that up. Number 12, do you think your current time investment is sustainable long term?
I ramp it up and I calm down. I had 4 days off the other day. And that was because something happened. I forgot what it was. Something did happen and I just felt like I was mentally exhausted. And I had 4 days of no streaming. And I'm sitting there in the morning sleeping and thinking, ooh, this is nice. Just laying there doing nothing. But it does, I think I'm a better person for it. I don't know.
A change is as good as a holiday. Number 13, what are the biggest time wasters in your channel, in running your channel, that you wish you could avoid?
Well, I should have been working on my drop shipping business today. Instead, I spent 5 hours preparing myself to do what I thought would be a 10 or 15 minute introduction to a video I've already got on the internet. So I downloaded the high definition version from StreamYard, which I used to record. And then I chopped out the beginning and the end. And then I thought, I better create a thumbnail. And then I went in, and then I've got all the tabs are open now. I can't go to bed until I record this tonight because all the tabs are open. And I just need to do a summary, but I haven't got it right in my head. So I've spent 5 or 6 hours doing a 10 to 15 minute introduction. And then when I go to bed at night, I'll grab that video after it renders and put it at the start. And then I'll do a bookmark ending on it. And then I'll go to bed with it rendering. And it'll probably take 2 hours. So rendering is probably my biggest time waster.
Rendering. Yeah, that's an interesting one, particularly if anybody's got an Apple and anybody knows what Final Cut Pro or iMac do when they render and create those giant files and sometimes run out of room. I know that can be frustrating. What are the biggest time ways? We've just done that. How do you handle burnout? You probably just answered this before. How do you handle burnout and what do you do to stay motivated?
Well, you might think this is silly. I have a what I call a moving desk. So it goes up and down. And I used to stand at my desk all day long. And I could stand at my desk for 5 or 6 hours quite happily. And I'd sit very rarely. Now, recently I've hurt my feet. And I mean recently for a year and a half, I haven't been able to stand on my feet like I used to. So I've had to sit down. Now I feel like I'm a truck driver, no offense, Crypto Dynamo, but I don't feel I'm actually as good as I used to be. My feet are getting better. So by moving around, what was the question?
How do you handle burnout and what do you do to stay motivated?
Oh, yeah. And I haven't been able to run. So just recently, last Sunday, I got up and I ran and I ran and I ran. I did do a 12K run in the hills, but I ran on concrete, which I don't like doing, testing my feet. And I did 15 Ks of running. I love running. And when I'm running, I seem to switch off. And that's what I feel I do. I need to stop, even though a physical exercise, it actually makes me, I come back home, I was absolutely exhausted. I took a photo of myself just to prove how exhausted I was. I sat down on the sofa. I couldn't move for 4 hours. But I feel that helps. Oh, look, somebody just gave me $2. Hey, look, this is great. Look at that. It's not somebody. It's Crypto Dynamo.
Do you feel, I think this is a very pertinent question. Do you feel like you've mastered a work-life balance with YouTube, or is it still a struggle?
Oh, yes. Bullshit. Sorry. Work-life balance. I want to be a full-time YouTuber. I'm actually trying to make enough income out of my YouTube channel so I can do this full-time. I absolutely love my YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, I won't tell you why I nearly lost my YouTube channel because give people ideas. But I like my YouTube channel. I love what I do. And I think, what was the question? Did I master something? What?
I'm not telling you because it's going to focus you to stay focused on the next one.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one.
Maybe I'm getting Parkinson. I don't know. What's my name?
Bob. How do you decide what's worth spending time on versus outsourcing, like editing or graphic design?
I don't.
Or do you do the whole lot?
I do the whole lot, and I don't actually believe you can outsource. That's just something that people read, because I like to be in charge of my content. I do long form content. I'm doing this video live. I'll click end, and it's done. And that's what I like. So outsourcing is a load of baloney. However, if I had 5 cameras and I had recorded all the sound and I had them all in different folders and I was going to perhaps create a movie around somebody's wedding and I filmed it on 5 different cameras, a mate of mine said it takes him a week to edit a wedding he does because of all the cameras that he uses and all that. And he said, so he got behind in his weddings and I just couldn't stand doing that. So outsourcing, he said there was some stuff he could outsource, but I personally believe for what I'm doing, I'd rather edit my own stuff.
Interesting. I was actually thinking you're probably not like most YouTubers, as in a lot of YouTubers are thinking about the whole video and almost creating like a movie, whereas you kind of have more of a show. If anybody hasn't watched Danny, he basically goes live and whatever happens is what you're going to see because there's no editing or very little editing anyway. Content creation and uploading is our next heading.
Oh.
The first question in this group is, how do you decide how frequently to upload videos?
I upload probably 3 or 4 videos a week. Most of them are I cut and splice them out of my lives, and then I'll put a thumbnail on top of it. I spend more time writing a title and a description than I do editing these days. Except when I'm streaming live and I get something really good, then like I'm going to give you an example. And excuse me if I go on a bit. The state of California has just issued a cease and desist order for a Ponzi scheme called BitHarvest, and it's a big thing. So I rang up a guy that's heavily involved with this company, and told him that this document's been released, and his mate that he hangs out with is all through it. His name's all the way through it. So that was a big thing that happened. But I recorded that live. So now that's the video I'm working on tonight. That I rang him up, showed him the evidence, got him out of bed, broadcasted him live on the internet, and that's worth chopping into a video. And that's a passion project. As I said, I've already spent 5 hours working on it, and now I'm going to produce a video out of it. But that will probably take 10 hours of work. I'm just not prepared to do that. every day of the week. But when you go live, boom, 7 hours later, you're still going live.
What's your process for coming up with video ideas?
I asked Rob. I do. Like this video, for example, we didn't know whether to do one on gambling or Rob came up with this idea. And I thought it's a great idea. So I think I think you've got to go with what's trending in your brain. And I'm a public speaker. I talk about dyslexia. I talk about being involved in a cult that I was brought up with. And I'm really good on those subjects. So when I come up with an idea what I'm going to do a video about, I smash it out of my brain and think, how can I make that into something interesting for people who might want to listen to what I'm saying or my interpretation of it? And it sometimes it gels and other times it doesn't. So I think you've just got to go with whatever you come up with in your head and then make it into a story. I mean, having a structure in a speech is everything. Like opening this was quite easy, closing it, keeping people engaged, all those things you learn the more you do. And I think time in the saddle and whatever subject you're doing, I could talk about toothpicks all day long if you really want me to. But the trick is, how do I keep you engaged? Like, did you know toothpicks are actually now made out of iron? And when you use them, you potentially are getting iron poisoning. So I could talk shit like that. You would listen to me because it's so weird and it's not true. But never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Have you ever rushed to upload content just to keep a schedule, and did that affect the quality?
Oh, I don't worry about schedules. I think people did get used to me going live at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. New Zealand time. And I think that I don't even know what time. Susie, what time do I normally go live? And Susie's actually got a good question here. Well, she'll have a good question. I would like to know why Susie is she hasn't got a life. She's just continuously on my channel, and I don't know how she multitasks, but she's always here and she supports me just absolutely amazing. But what time do I go live in you suppose you can't tell me because she's one of my undercover agents. But Susie seems to be, if I don't go live, I normally get a wee text to say, "Are you okay?" And that's I think I'm going to say something different here, Rob. It's not a question, but the community that you build in your YouTube channel is just everything. They are the reason I get out of bed in the morning, because I know that they're normally expecting to see something my time, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. And I never thought I'd have a community that likes Danny. Checks in the mail.
Brilliant. And that kind of follows on from Susie's question there that says, if there was one thing that your audience could do for you, what would it be? Well, I guess support's a big thing. Does go a long way. Number 20, do you use a script or go with a more spontaneous approach when recording?
My script, if there was one thing that your audience could do for you, what would it be? That's what happens when I use a script. Because one of my videos, I think it's had 35,000 views, is when I impersonated Stephen Reese Lewis. And Stephen Reese Lewis was a guy that was running Hyperverse, since being found in Thailand. Different story, won't go there. And he always looked like he was reading off a teleprompter. So I thought I'd wear a suit and look like him. And I prepared my speech and read it as I was doing it, hoping it wasn't like I was reading off a teleprompter. But because when I finished it, it looked like I was reading off a teleprompter. So it sort of added to the funny part of it, even though I was really trying to read it like I wasn't reading off a teleprompter. So it was quite funny how that works. So, oh my God, look, my community's turning up. Look who's here. Script. There's a guy that
they're all coming on. How much planning goes into each video before you start recording? You probably already answered that, but prior to going live.
Well, I actually have a thumbnail and a preset description for every live I do. And it's that one that you see with scam alert. And then when the video is happening, often I'll build the thumbnail and do the description live in the live so people can be part of it. and that's sort of been quite good, really. Susie has 7
Excellent.
subscribers. That's amazing. You couldn't actually ask them to come subscribe to my YouTube channel too, could you?
All right. Next question. How do you balance being entertaining versus informative in your videos? Or the other way around, maybe?
I'm not worried about being entertaining. Bob's entertaining. I mean, the first time we met Bob, Tugman, just saying, I don't know, entertaining. I don't know. I think you got to be real and true to yourself. I mean, if no one's just, I don't know. Well, I like to think people like me. I think I'm authentic, and I think I don't have any secrets. But entertaining, I don't know. Factual, I always like to be factual. I like to have my information right, but the fact is, even if you told me the right information, I'll probably forget half of it before I finish saying it. So I don't know, and I don't know if that's important. I think, I mean, one thing I must say, Susie, I've seen Crypto G's listening, and Crypto G. I've seen Richard's listening. Oops, sorry, that's his real name. See, I stuffed up. Is I have got people there that correct me in the chat room. So if I say the sky is green, and I didn't even realize I said it because I was trying to think of the next things to say, they will correct me. And it's how you fix the stuff ups. It's like they say to you when you're in a new relationship, you guys get on all right, and you go, well, actually, the truth of the matter is, it's not whether you're compatible, it's how you deal with incompatibleness. And I think that's when you make mistakes and you go in live and you make mistakes, it's how you fix up the shit that you created, and I think that's my strength, maybe. I don't know. Interested to know what the viewers say.
It's great piece of relationship advice there that I noted. Number 5, we're going to move on to advertising and growth strategies. What strategies have worked best for promoting your channel outside of YouTube? Assuming you have.
Rob came on my YouTube live once and he took his shirt off. That did not work. Cut it out. Stop it. Jesus Christ. We're going to see it. Don't. You haven't got an air guitar. Hey, I thought you shaved your chest. Just saying. Thank you.
No.
What strategies worked outside? Is that what strategies?
What strategies have worked best for promoting your channel outside of YouTube?
Everybody I talk to loves that I go after these crypto Ponzi scammer guys. Honestly, a guy rang me up today to buy some coffee thing, and my partner looks after the coffee website, and I finished up telling the guy my YouTube channel, and then he goes, "Oh, do you know anything about Get Fit?" And I thought, do I know anything about Get Fit? I've been chatting to the owner of Get Fit. And then he said, I had my neighbor come over the other day who's a conspiracy therapist, whatever guy. And he said, he's telling me I should get involved in this Get Fit thing. I felt like saying, well, what's his home address? I'll go, cause it name and shame him. But anyway, the problem is I couldn't believe it. That I finished out having this amazing conversation with this guy who just bought a product from me about my YouTube channel. And then next thing I get a LinkedIn request and he's found me on LinkedIn and we're now best friends. And I think that's quite cool. I go to the supermarket and I'm going to buy my beer tonight and food. And the guy at the checkout, he said, how's your day been? I said, I stared at the computer too long. I spent 5 hours trying to prepare a frigging video. And he goes, what's the video about? I said, I fight criminals online. Oh, do you? What's your website address? So every time you talk about it, somebody's quite cool about it. But online, it is quite hard. It's quite daunting trying to build up subscribers. It's picking up a little bit. I used to get 300 subscribers a month at one stage, and now at the moment it's about 140. So I do keep an eye on it, but it's kind of like a rev counter, and it tells you how you're doing or whether you've changed tech. Are you just doing the same old thing and expecting different results? Recently, the last couple of months, I've actually been doing not so many We Are All Satoshi videos, but finding other Ponzi schemes and doing, short videos. And that's actually worked out really well for us. So you've got to keep it fresh and shuffle things around. Oh, shut up now, Rob.
Yes. So there was word of mouth and LinkedIn in there is the answer to that question. Do you run paid ads? And if so, how effective have they been in growing your audience? I think I can answer that one. No. there. Now, next question. How do you use social media to drive traffic to your YouTube channel? So do you post any links anywhere else?
I'm streaming right now on 8 different platforms. So we're talking Facebook, LinkedIn, 2 YouTube channels, Richard's YouTube channel at the same time, Twitch, X, which is obviously Twitter, another one called Rumble, another one called Kick. And also then my YouTube channel is also backed up with Odyssey. So I'm spreading a big footprint around. Now, to give you an idea, Rumble, every time I go live, it lives out my video. I do that for backup in case one of my videos goes AWOL, but they don't pay very well. My YouTube career so far has made $17 from Rumble, but it has made a little bit of money. But my point is, I live on, I don't actually spend much time on engaging with people on social media, but I do broadcast. I'm a poster, not I'm a poster, not a reader. So I just post my content, and I just know it builds a big footprint with, Google, and then I get my stuff ranks reasonably well.
The next question is interesting. What kind of collaborations have helped you grow, and how do you decide who to collaborate with?
Yeah, that's a funny one there. I have collaborated with CoffeeZilla, which is my hero. I've listened to the way that he runs his YouTube channel. So he has a Patreon account, and 25% of his income has increased just because he does, he caters to his community and does pre-releases to them, and they support him. He also said that I think he did something like 70 videos a couple of years ago in a year. And then he's now done, I think, 25 videos. So he's changed his tech as well. And now he's got a second channel where he sort of gets back on the mic like we're doing now. And that's got about 700,000 subscribers. He's got about 3.5 million subscribers. So collaborating with him, I thought would be a great idea. But not many YouTubers are really that keen to collaborate. So all the scam boys out there who are doing all the phone scams, I thought, oh, look at me, I'm a bit different. Let's collaborate. I have communicated with a few of them, but they don't never reach out to me. And I'm really open to it. I would have anybody on my channel, even somebody with no subscribers. I'm quite happy to have a chat if you've got great content. And I think you've got to stay true to that.
Excellent answer. Do you think your advertising efforts have paid off, or could they be better optimized? Well, basically, there are none, so that's that one done. Do you think YouTube's algorithm favors or hinders your specific content type?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I am hindered by either I'm in New Zealand in the bottom of the earth, underneath that bit that's tucked in under Australia, just a little bit at the bottom. I don't think we get as much exposure. I'm convinced that I would have maybe 100,000 subscribers if I was in America right now. It seems so. I have even tried using a VPN and broadcasting and seeing whether any videos get more traction. But covering content that isn't is trending is very much like my drop shipping business. I put products on my websites that are trending, people find them and they buy them. And if I focus on following, the famous scammers, I know I'd get more traction. So if we used to go after Sam Lee. Sam Lee's got charged for his connection to a $1.9 billion scam. Anytime we use Sam Lee, we get, anytime Shavis, this other guy, comes online, we always get more views. So if I was using tactics, I would probably go after people that were in the news and do stories about them just to get the numbers. But it's not all about numbers anymore. It's about the content and, being familiar with what you're going on about. Oh, there's lots of questions coming.
All right, we're getting into gear and setup now. We're about 2/3 of the way through. What gear did you start with, and how has it evolved over time?
I'm just reading Crypto G's message there. Look at that one. I have the soap on a rope ready kernel. What the hell's he on about?
I think he's trying to stay clean.
Right. And what did you say then, Rob? Because I was reading that comment and it just absolutely ripped the hem on my nightie, that one.
Yes. Now stay focused, Daniel. What gear did you start with, and how has it evolved over time?
Great question. I love my gear. What did I start with? I don't know. Actually, oh no, I did. I had a Zoom 6H, H6, 6H.
Yep.
And
H6.
I used to own a business networking company, and we had this thing called Think Tank, and it was so good I wanted to record it as a podcast. So I went and bought myself the wrong microphone and this little handheld recording device and tried to get the sound out of the room, and it was shocking. I've still got them online, but that was my first recording device. And I think I was actually recording podcasts before I actually got into YouTube, because it is actually about having a good, clear voice and good sound. You can have crap video, but you can't have crap sound. No one will listen to a crap video, and that's why I'm struggling with the hardware I've got at the moment, because it's not powerful enough to stream what I'm actually doing. But I think, a Zoom H6, brilliant wee device. I think I've sold it, or have I got it? I think I might. I'm not even sure if I've sold it or got it. But one day I thought I might. This is what you do: is you collect all this gear, and you've got a wardrobe behind me of all this gear that would be ideal for anyone that's starting out, because you don't need all the good gear, but you do have your thing that, like buying the wrong microphone. Buy a dynamic microphone. Is that what we've got? Dynamic mic.
Yep.
But don't buy a condenser mic. Condenser is the one that, like, if you're playing a guitar and you want to hear every wee string, bing, 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 buy a condenser mic. But if you want to talk, you want to have a dynamic mic. This is my baby, right? And if I click out here, you probably can't hear it too well. But, but if you do that with a condenser mic, if you like typing on the keyboard, you'll hear all that noise, and it's very distracting. Anyway, so microphone's really important. That's my favorite. Do I get there? The prize?
Yeah. So I can basically tell you that you've basically got the same laptop that you had when you started. You got the same monitor, keyboard, camera. I think you've had the same camera all the way through.
Yeah, I think I have. I was fortunate though, because my partner's a photographer, and we actually started with a Sony 6000, and now I have a Sony A6400, and I do a bit of street photography, and I love my camera because you can turn the clicker off. But now I've got a prime lens on it, which means I can't focus with the camera, but it does things like this. Look at that. See that blurry face? And that's something that you really want. But I've also got like lots of extra things that you wouldn't even know I've got in the camera, like a filter on the lens, so I can make myself darker. Watch this. See, look at that. Isn't that horrible? Just and now put it back. Ooh. And because you want that cinema look. Okay, Karen, Rob.
Brilliant. Okay, so that actually covers the next question as well. But we move on. How important is audio quality versus video quality for your channel? You kind of answered that, but have you got any other questions, any other comment?
Oh, look, it's a bonus if you've got a great mic. And it's a bonus if you can make sounds come up on the screen just by a click of a button. But it's not, it's just an extra gizmo. I'd like a voice changer. I would like to be, there's so many things that I would like. I'd like to be able to actually have an avatar face so I can storm into these Zoom meetings and they don't recognize me. It'd be, there's so many things. But no, I think the sound is definitely a goodie. But you can get great sound by using you can buy these new microphones we just got called DJI microphones. They are $550 New Zealand, so about 350 USD dollars, USD, not USDT, and they're great. And you plug it into your iPhone, and you clip it on your shoulder here, and you'll get pretty much brilliant sound. But on my electronics website, I sell something very similar for $150. So you don't have to pay all the big bucks, and you'll get by. And then you give your gear to the next YouTuber who's starting out.
Have you ever felt that better gear alone would help your channel grow faster?
Yeah, I wish I had a faster laptop. I wish I had 2 computers, one for streaming and one for recording my face, because I'm always jumpy on the screen. If you know what I mean. But yes, I definitely think better gear would probably help. But like, be good today rather than perfect tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one when you're streaming as well, isn't it? Because it does rely a lot on your hardware, because you can have a good camera, good microphone, but if your hardware is struggling, and that's not really necessarily the case if you're just recording videos, normal videos. We're talking
Rob,
now about
I gotta go to the loo.
monetization.
You just keep talking to yourself. See ya.
What's he doing? The next topic when he comes back is monetization and making money. And if you've just tuned in, we're interviewing Danny DeHeck, Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, about his channel, and hopefully about some tips that you may be able to garner about how to choose a genre, or even choose whether or not you have a genre, what gear to make. Now, so far, there's been some interesting stuff that's come out. We've been talking about whether or not you need to produce regular content, how regular, whether or not you need life balance, whether you could be spending too much time or maybe too little time on YouTube and tuning videos out, whether you need to be authentic and be yourself, and we'll have that summary at the end of the show. But the next question for Danny, now that he's back, at what point did you realize your channel could be monetized, or was that right at the start?
Well, you'd like to think you can monetize a channel. But you need 1,000 subscribers, and people often think you're doing it for revenue, and also they think that the ads that because Susie just posted something here saying no ads, but the ads I normally get about $2 a video within the first week if I'm lucky, so it's not a hell of a lot, but it does actually add up. If you do 70 videos a month, that's $140. And then sometimes you get a video that goes really well and you'll get $20. And then one day you hope that your YouTube channel takes off. Like, there's a guy called Armstrong. What's his name? Oh, I've forgotten his name. But he restores cars that have been in accidents.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of his first name, but I can't.
I was watching him today. And Matt Armstrong. And he just bought a Rolls Royce for $350,000 and spent, I don't know, $150,000 doing it up. Mansouri, and I'm just thinking, did he make all his money from YouTube ads? But then you get people reaching out to you wanting you to do product endorsements. And I haven't done any of that. And I think that will happen naturally. But then I don't want to endorse products I don't like. So
is it true that you got asked to do a product endorsement for Viagra?
It was a stiff deal, mate. And I told the guy I weren't interested, and I said he's a bit of a pussy. And then he come back to, I told him he's got to harden up, because it could be. On the screen beside me here, you can actually see, here's my 8,170 subscribers. My estimated revenue for next month is around about $300. Now, Richard just gave me a donation of $2. So that is actually included as my guesstimated revenue for next month, because he said, and that's quite interesting. So if somebody comes along, and it has happened, that I've had people just chuck $50 down on the table just to give me a super chat, and it's like, whoa. But then all of a sudden, YouTube stats says I'm now going to make $350 next month, because I think that's going to happen every month. So those stats aren't always true. So out of that, I know Rich has been very generous this month, and he's probably donated maybe $30 or $40. He'll probably tell me in a minute. But it's money coming in. It helps. But in saying that, there is other ways of making money out of YouTube channel. But everyone that accuses me of producing videos just for clicks and for the money is kind of funny in a way. Because if you divide that by 80 hours a week, that's actually
very low hourly rate.
Yeah.
Although could be a better return than a lot of other people are getting on some of the crypto scams that you're talking about. Next question is, how long did it take for you to get monetized once you started?
Oh, it seemed like ever. I think monetization, getting to that first 1,000 people. I mean, everyone focuses on that. Like you search for how do I get monetized, and people go, how to get monetized in 6 weeks. I reckon. I know my mate Vinny. He was trying to get monetized. You were trying to get monetized, and it's just like it just takes ages. Like how many subscribers? Now I tell you, Rob, you've got 1,700 subscribers.
No, it's just under 1,500.
Right, but you took less time to get an extra 500 because when I remember you got stuck on something like 367, which seemed like a month.
Yeah, forever.
And it was like, what the hell?
Whoosh.
But now, I mean, I am quite lucky, I suppose, but I have actually I've been in the New York Times, so that gave me 1,000 subscribers, boom, just out the gate, you know? Hey, I'll help you out here, Rob. I'll make your banner come up. You watch this. There you go. Put your banner up there now. Is that the one? Rob Woolley. There you go. So subscribe to Rob's channel if you're watching this. It's easy to find. But yeah, it does take a long time, and it's when you're starting out, you just think that's everything, and when you think you've got 8 subscribers like Susie, it's pretty disheartening. Susie's probably not trying to build subscribers; she's probably trying to collect historical data so she can incriminate people when she goes to court with them. Anyway, what's she said? Do you think Danny's algorithm is dyslexic? Could be.
All right, next question. How much of your income comes from YouTube directly versus other revenue streams? Well, it's basically 100%. Next question. Do you use affiliate marketing, and how effective has it been for you? The answer is no.
No, and Amazon is the biggest one. And you can't actually do that in New Zealand. They won't allow you to do affiliate marketing. You can't sign up for it. Did try that at the start. So you know how you go into those YouTube descriptions and you've got all these things you could buy? You can't do that in New Zealand. You can't even fool them into doing it.
I didn't even know that. Okay, next question. How important are sponsorships, and do you choose to accept any? You don't have any. Do you think you're getting paid fairly for the time and effort you put into the channel? You have sponsorships.
I have people who give me, like Millernote is sponsored. And every time I use Millernote, it's awesome. So they've given me, but that was because I used to have the business networking company originally. And I did blogging, and I did a blog about Trello, which is their competitor. And then they come to me and said, would you want to do a review on us? We'll give you a premium membership.
Know
It
that.
would normally cost me like 30 or 40. And also there's another crowd too. On my website, you'll see embed. So if I was to bring up my website, I'll show you, I think. Can I do that? I think I can do that. Hold it. Add to stage. So if I go to here, if I went to my website, dheck.com, there's a company that's, if you go to like my contact section, and you can see YouTube. So this embed social, they allow you to embed your YouTube videos in your page of your website. So you don't have to leave your website. So if I go Facebook, there's a page on my website and it's all embedded. Oh, that's because I've removed some posts are private. Yeah, it was only because I haven't set that one up right, but it's quite cool. So that was given to me, and then the lady who set it up for me was absolutely lovely. So all my Instagram stuff, you can see it all looks pretty, and it's all on my website. So people don't have to leave my website to look at my Instagram. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, look, there I am there, Rob.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think you're getting paid fairly for the time and effort you put into your channel?
I don't really know how it works. I think YouTube give you $1 every 1,000 visitors. I don't really care. I mean, hey, look, my first month ever, I got $1,200 from a YouTube channel. I thought, oh my God, I've got myself a new profession. And then the following month it was 500, and then it went down to about 300 to 400 a month. Who knows what, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually know. I think there's other ways of making money, and we shouldn't focus on the ads. For example, I do drop shipping. I've done these videos, tutorials, teaching people how to do drop shipping. They don't get many views, but today I sold a website, hopefully, touch wood. And that has come because I've watched my video and made an informed decision by watching my video. I didn't need to do the sales pitch. They watched my video. It did the sales pitch for me, and I think that's great. So there is other ways of making money. I never thought that my subscribers may be interested in other things. I never thought they were human.
What changes would you need to make to increase your income significantly?
Well, I have to say subscribers. I wish people would share my content, but it's a bit like this is guy yelling down the phone telling someone he's a scammer and you're going to, do terrible things to him. I don't think that's really something that people want to share. So, and I've tried doing crypto educational videos. No one wants to watch that stuff. People like the drama. So I think, I wish people would share my content more. Also, people come to me and they say they've lost $50,000, but they want to remain anonymous. And I go, what the hell? I got this guy, that Australian guy, who lost $33,600 to a romance scam. And he was gutted. He borrowed money from his mum. He sold his car so he could invest and make 20% with this beautiful girl that had no one else to talk to on the internet other than him. And he come and told us his story. And I just think I communicate with him every couple of 3 days, or maybe not, once a week, let's say. I keep in touch with him because he told me his story. I want people to tell, and that's where it doesn't have people who have lost thousands of dollars and then they want to keep it quiet because they're embarrassed. Come blow your
it's all
trumpet
about
with me.
personal stories.
That's right.
Do you ever feel pressure to make certain types of videos just to increase monetization?
No, you do experiment with that, I'll be honest, and you think, like, for example, the other day I did a video. We saw it was you I was talking to, Rob. We saw a video that showing someone how to tie a tie that had 1.5 million views. The video was crap. So I said, I'm going to do one of those videos because I'm an ace at tying ties because I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. And I think I did a 5-minute version of cutting out all the crap. And then I did a 15-minute version step by step. And the 5-minute version got most of the views. And I think we got about 500. I've done other videos, and some of them, I did one video and it got 25,000 views in about 3 days. And then it stopped. It went like this. Boop, boop. It was like, but if you're producing videos just for the algorithm, I can't even say the word right, I just think you're letting yourself down. People give me a hard time about long form content all the time. And I did a 24-hour stream thinking, I'll just prove people I can stream for 24 hours. And then YouTube only save streams that are less than 12 hours long. So I lost a whole lot. But, you do what you want to do. If you have an audience of 3 people or 6 people like we do at the moment, I think you got 300 at one stage, didn't you, on yours? You picked that video.
Was that for?
That was Shavis when he was doing his announcement. No one could get online, and you just happened to be restreaming his content, and you got 300.
I think, I think the most people that I had live on a channel at any time was about 375 or so.
Yeah, and I had I got punched by a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old in the shop that I work. These videos have had nearly 7 million people look at them. The videos each side, 10,000 perhaps, but no one cares. It didn't change my life. I got more enjoyment having a talk to an 81-year-old guy who was telling me his interpretation of why that kid felt that he had the right to do that. And that video has probably only had maybe 300 or 400 people look at it. So you just getting the numbers ain't everything, but it's good for the ego. Oh, people always say to you, you're a YouTuber, how many subscribers have you got? And I go, just one, me and my mum. Who really cares? But it's nice to have people subscribing to your YouTube channel.
Okay, so if your YouTube channel vanished tomorrow,
I'd cry.
And you were starting again, what would you do?
Oh, I think I'd do one just on drop shipping. I think I've I'm having a lot of success with the videos I'm doing about dropshipping. Have a look in the playlist on my YouTube channel. It's just that I've found a way. I'm very clever at dropshipping, and I think that I've got a niche, and I think I've got that sussed. I think I'm very knowledgeable, and I share the right secrets on how to do it with people. And I think I've realized maybe I should have done a whole channel on. If I started again, though, I wouldn't have the audience. But because I've got 8,000 people now, I believe my videos get distributed out enough to, somebody goes, oh, actually, I know Danny, he does, like Susie was in here before. She's was talking about doing something. Susie's was toying with the idea because, and who would think that Susie would be interested in that? So you better buy one, Susie, but she's gone at the moment. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, dropshipping. That's it.
How do you deal with negative comments or criticism of your content?
Why? What's wrong with it?
Excellent. Next question. Have you ever
Serious,
paid for?
Rob, what's wrong with my content?
I'm not saying your content is shit, but if someone did say that your content was shit, what would you think, Danny? How would you deal with it?
Oh, I don't know.
How are you dealing with it now?
I'm not. It's personal. I do my best at the time. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be good today rather than perfect tomorrow, which I said earlier on. But I really mean that, and I am actually. I do like my YouTube channel. So I do listen to feedback. But I had somebody the other day come in here and tell me that they reckon the video should only be 10 minutes long, and I go, yeah, I did that. I spent 9 hours editing a 10-minute long video. So I like what I do, and I do like it. So it's like, have a go and see what you find that works for you. I don't think it is about content. Like, how long have we had 6 people in here for? 2 minutes now. See, we're just living the dream.
So, what do you hope your viewers will take away from your videos beyond just entertainment?
Oh, I hope they listen to the message. We have a bit of fun. There's a word that I use on my website, and I will bring it up again. But when you go to my website, theheck.com, the very first words that come up when you go to my website is I am. Oh, do I have it? I don't have the words. Oh, yes, I do. Hold it. Let's go back. You have to read the word, Rob. What's that word say? It's
satirist.
Oh, that's my favorite word, but I can't pronounce it because I'm dyslexic. But that's somebody who goes after scammers with a bit of humor, because you couldn't take this shit seriously. And I think that's my message, really. But if you can have a bit of fun while you're saving the world from getting mum and dad investors, because every time I start my YouTube channel off, I normally say that I usually go, I'm Danny the Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I'm here to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I'm going after the bottom feeders of the world. Something like that. Can't stop that now, Rob. Just working on that. So I think that's important.
Okay. We're just going to move on to what basically concluded all of the questions that ChatGPT kind of formulated after my prompting in a particular direction. But here's a few other questions for content creators. How important do you think a thumbnail is?
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thought somebody else might have been here. Well, there's a guy that's got 600,000 subscribers. He gave me some advice when he looked at my thumbnails, and he said they're too busy. No more than 2 words on the thumbnail, and you've got to have something shocking to entice people to click on it. Well, I kind of tried that, and I did go back, and then I started doing my nice cut. I think I'm famous for my thumbnails. I like my thumbnails. So I don't do what's true, every time you create a thumbnail, you get better at it. But then he's got 600,000 subscribers. Yeah, so maybe he does know what he's talking about. And he did spend a long time writing to me and gave me a few tips, and some stuff works and some stuff doesn't.
Did he have any advice, or do you have any advice on how many words maximum should go on a thumbnail?
Well, I've done SEO content for a long time. I'm very, very good at it when it comes to websites. The video that I talked about earlier on that got 7 million views, I put that same video on 5 different platforms, and they all got different responses, and they're all were exactly the same. So I believe that there's 100 characters in a YouTube title, and I literally use all 100 characters if I can, right down to the last letter. Now, I just changed that philosophy a wee while ago, and I started doing 50 character subscriptions because that's what I got told it should be. Titles. Thank you. And I just disagree with that now. Now, we're talking about Think Media, who's got millions of subscribers. And I think when you get 30 to 50,000 subscribers, then I think those things come into play. But if I search for any part of those titles in the search engines, they do come up. So they're still indexed by search engines. So that's what I do. I have long titles, and I use all 5,000 characters for the descriptions if I can.
Have you thought of using your skills in video creation for doing videos for anywhere other than YouTube?
Yes, I have, but I still don't have confidence in it. My partner's a photographer, and I've got a gimbal and my camera, and I've done a few videos of her doing photography so I can promote her. We went out on a boat the other day and took photos of models. She was taking photos of them, and I was sort of like I've never used them. So yes and no, but you get better at it. Like I still feel like I'm an amateur editor. I don't feel I'm very good at it. I mean, you come around the other day and you showed us a video that you did of Helen, and I was asking you what transition you were using between segments, and you said none. I went, oh, 'cause you know how they jump from one to the other, and I'm thinking he's used some sort of clever thing that makes them pop. He was just cutting it, and I always put transitions. So you're always learning. Yeah, so I still feel like I'm an amateur, but I'm be good today rather than perfect tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes.
One of the questions that came up in the chat room there, that's it. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why? Or what would you want it to be and why?
Ooh, I don't know. What would I want it to be and why? Maybe something to do with being able to get what's going on in here. That might not be a good idea on a screen without having to use all the hardware. Somehow just to create a video that's what you're thinking and deliver it, and to do it really quick. Like, don't worry about, be able to get the content on there as quick as you can. That's why I like lives, because I will be talking and then something will pop up on the screen and I'm going, I normally have this thing, which I don't have it. And you do the newsreel. What is it? And then before you know it, you're on to a new topic. I don't even have it anymore. No, I don't.
It's actually so funny you say that, because that's one of the things that I've been thinking about. Be fantastic. Think of the idea and immediately be able to go and film it.
Yep. And I think that's actually true. Even my whole YouTube career is actually, every time I get something in my head, get it down into a video and post it onto the internet as quick as you can. And then it's there forever. Your most successful video,
Yes.
Rob? The mouse one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that wasn't fast, but yeah, I do think, just to throw my comment in, is that, yeah, if you do have an idea, kind of strike while the iron's hot, like get it out there as fast as you can while it's fresh in your mind. Don't overthink it. Thinking gets in the way of doing. Danny, around videos and stuff like that, what's your greatest fear?
Get my channel taken down by copyright strikes.
Have you come close, or shouldn't I ask?
Well, yes. I was going to be in the New York
think we'll
Times.
keep people in suspense.
Well, you could do, but I'll tell you what happened. I was interviewed by the New York Times over a 13-week period, and they were about to release an article, and I received 2 copyright strikes. One more, I would have lost my channel. So I went through and deleted 80 videos, which I thought somebody could have complained about. And then the article came out in the New York Times, and people went to my YouTube channel and go, well, this guy's not that special. But I had to remove 80 of my top videos that were humming. And back then I was getting 5,000, 7,000 people looking at my YouTube channel. It literally killed my channel. So, you know, and that's something that takes the wind out of your sails. Now, I know that would have killed YouTube as well. YouTube would have looked at something that's going on my channel, and I lost a lot of my momentum. So it's sort of a blow. But I've learned since then. And I think this is what you got to do, is you got to keep doing and keep learning. You know, even the other day, last night, a video went back online that somebody was trying to get offline. It was a recording, a 4-minute, 38-second recording. I put it into a fancy Nancy look, whatever, hoo-ha, put it on my YouTube channel, and somebody complained about it who thought they owned it. You know, and I had to wait 10 days before that person that thought they owned it got told off by YouTube, and that video goes back online. But in the meantime, that video only got 75 views, and it would have had a lot more. So, yeah, so it's a bit tricky.
What is your most major frustration around everything YouTube?
YouTube. It is YouTube. YouTube are just, no offense, YouTube, but you're fucking useless. You cannot reason with them. They're using AI. Even today, there was a video released about somebody who complained about privacy, not to me, but another YouTuber. And, you know, they took the video. It was a video about me, funny enough, but they took the video off until they sussed out what Google was going on about. You're writing back to a bot. YouTube seemed like they're stuck in the dark ages. So it's really, really frustrating, actually. You know.
Okay, well, don't hold back. Tell us what you really feel.
Okay. Fuck you, YouTube.
Here's the start of the sentence. This is the last question. Ooh. So make the most of it. This is the last question. Here's the start of a sentence, and I want you to finish it. One day I am going to.
One day I am going to be a successful YouTuber, and I am going to have an audience that throws money at me like I'm a boss.
Thank you very much, Danny. I'm just going to go through a quick summary here. Now, these are a few things that I've been jotting down while we've been going through this interview. One of the key things, if you want to be a YouTuber, is make sure you got good audio and good video. Clear vision, clear sound. Simple as that. That you can be positively influenced by influencers. So go and watch other successful YouTubers. That was one of the things I heard when you were talking about CoffeeZilla in there. You can go and spread your links to your YouTube videos on other platforms, as Danny does. So they're basically like hooks, and hopefully you've got the right bait, so that you can draw the fish from, say, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, etc., Rumble, I think it is, and various other things to YouTube. Be yourself. You can't be a second-rate. You can be a second-rate version of someone else, or you can be a first-rate version of yourself. Interestingly, this is an interest. In fact, I'll come back to this. Is that you have to decide, are you going to create movies or are you going to create shows? Basically, a movie is going to be edited and prepared a lot, and maybe the less prep, less editing is a show, which is more what Danny is doing. Do the things that you love outside of YouTube, so make sure you got some kind of a balance. If you got a real job, focus on that because that's your real income, and have YouTube as your secondary income or your hobby. If you want to have a good channel, you need regular content. And one of the pearls of wisdom that came out tonight from Danny was make sure you're clear on your message and that you articulate it clearly. That was one of the things. Whether or not you have a genre, you can create videos. Basically, don't give yourself an excuse not to create content, not to create a video. Danny has created other genres outside of his crypto Ponzi busting scheme videos, and he's had a bit of success and may even move some stage into drop shipping. The interesting things, and this is what I wanted to end here, because I thought, now this is an objective view, is that Danny's been very successful with his channel. He's grown it to over 8,000 subscribers over a few years, and he's had some very, very successful videos. The interesting thing here is that his arguably most successful crypto video was scripted and edited. That's right, by his own admission. I'm not too sure he picked up on that.
15 minutes long as well.
And his most successful video, full stop, was actually not on the genre of his choice, but on how to fillet a trout. So I would suggest keep an open mind about whether what you like doing is actually the way that you maybe could be doing it. You could be doing it some other way or on some different topic, because that maybe the views are. But do you want to catch fish, or do you just enjoy fishing? Thank you very much, Danny, for a very insightful view, very candid view there. And I'll pass it over to you to wrap it up and say the closing words.
Thank you very much, Rob. That was really enjoyable. Quite good. There is one other thing we didn't mention, and that was you could make a whole YouTube channel out of just doing shorts, which are 60-second long videos. I've seen people do that, and that really works well. I often use shorts to promote the videos I've created, and that's something that's within YouTube. So don't underestimate that. Check out my shorts. You'll see what I do. I get the very, very best part of my videos that are long form and pick out that 60 seconds of content that entices people to click on it and then click through to the video that is long form. Also, long form content is actually pretty cool for people who like traveling, and they put it in the car. I listen to podcasts when I travel, and I listen to audiobooks. So you are catering to a different audience. So don't have to be the same as every other YouTuber. You can cater to a genre of people. And that's basically it for me. Hey, Rob, thanks for inviting me along to my own YouTube channel. It's been great. I like what you've done with the place. It looks really nice. I love your music in the background. Just briefly, Rob, I want to ask you a couple of questions. You've got a microphone there. You've got a Shure microphone. Yep. And I've got an audio BP40 microphone.
An Audio Technica.
Thank you.
Your one.
I've got two of them actually, one in the drawer behind me, because I bought two at the same time, and I've never used the other one, and they last for ages. So get yourself a good mic as soon as you can. I think that's the most important thing. We've got arms. See, these are arms. And Rob didn't always have an arm on his, but he's put one back tonight, I see.
I had put one back on me. I had a stand. I was using a stand. I think it changes, depending on how high your setup is, or whether or not you want to use a keyboard, or et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, that's something else I didn't do, Rob, and I'm going to do it, even though you want to go. This is my phone. I'm using very clever software. If you want to find out what that is, I want to show you my setup. So that's my light above my face, and that lights up my face without that glare in the glasses. See, I'll go up here. You can see it in my glasses. Okay, and this is my camera that I use, and that's a Sony A6400 with a prime lens on it. The lens costs more than the camera. This is the that filter thing I was talking about. So you can see my face is going dark now, and that theoretically helps it be more cinematic. Can't even say the word. Laptop over to the side here, and you can see I've got the chat room open here. But in here I've got
Intel MacBook Air, by the way. MacBook Pro, isn't it? It's an Intel one though, about 2019, 2020.
2020, that one. And then I've got my screen with Rob on it as we go. Down here, this is a Zoom PodTrack P8. Means I can actually have 8 other connections in here, 8 other mics. This here means I can plug a cable into my phone, which is great. I've got microphones in the background, so you can hear the speakers. If I turn these up now, you'll hear a bit of a different sound maybe. But sometimes I don't want to have these earplugs in the side of my ear. But I've now turned my sound completely off. I've got a couple of Pixel. I've got a couple of lights each side of me, and they light up the green screen behind me. So that's kind of how it works. And I've got a red flag, got a couple of cans of beer. But my office is actually pretty minimalistic. And everything's
and a trackpad in there as well.
Yeah, and I use that. I live on that. I don't have a mouse. And also I have a little arm here, which is magnetic. So I can actually stick my camera up there and have another microphone and lighten that up. So it's pretty cool. Battery chargers here. I used to have to use them all the time until I realized that I should have plugged in the proper cable for my camera. Now I never have to worry about it, which is just ridiculous, really. But I think that's, sort of like my office, really. I think that's quite important. All right. So we're done, and I've pushed the wrong button. I use StreamYard as well, which is a great program. It costs me $80 a month, which isn't too good. But it enables me to look semi-professional and also broadcast to 8 different places at the same time. But YouTube's number one for me, and X is the next second best thing. So I think that's enough. I'm going to go. We're going to say thank you. Thank you to Rob for interviewing me. And it's good. We like to pretend we're the two Ronnies sometimes, don't we? So it's good night for him. And it's good night for me. See you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.